Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to my panelists, Dr. Muhammad Ali and Dr. Muhammad Hafiz. My name is Hadi Afiq bin Mohd Hamdan and this is my final year project presentation. So my final year project is titled Development of an Agriculture Multi-Rotor Drone. So the supervisor for this final year project is Dr. Rizal Effendi bin Muhammad Nasir, and my co-supervisor is Dr. Ahmad Hussein and Encik Fairul bin Khalid. So to go through this presentation, here's my presentation outline. First of all, I will explain about the background of study, then the literature review, my final year project problem statement, the objective of this project, my hypothesis, scope of work, methodology, preliminary outcome, my planning throughout this project, and finally my reference. So now we go to the background of this study. So first of all, the story here is that the production rates of crops needs to be increased as the population is increasing in the future, especially in the future. And then there's the increase in demand for agriculture drones from farmers, because they know that the agriculture drones can increase efficiency. And then many agriculture application. So regarding the drones, there are many agriculture application other than spraying crops, and we want to focus on making agriculture drones more accessible to more farmers. So not only to the rich farmers, standard farmers can also receive the drone. And then regarding the drones, since there are a lot of application from the drone, a farmer may only need one goal from an agriculture drone to ease their production. So from that, we could reduce the price of the drone. So here's my summary observation for the literature review. So first of all is that most agriculture drones are copter type of drones, so they are able to stand on air steady for a long time. And then drones provide a higher safety measure to the farmers, because the farmers just control the drone, they don't have to go and spray pesticide. Next, we can see that the price of the drones are very expensive, starting from 7,000 to 15,000, and then with technology it can goes up to 120,000 ringgit. And finally, the problem is that education is not fully available for standard users. It needs a very advanced person to teach you that education, so not fully reachable. So here's the overall summary of the literature review. So we can see that an agriculture drones need to be a copter type, and it has benefit more to the farmers compared to human powered, and advanced knowledge and training are needed to farmers even if it's costly. And then evaluation needs to be done if we were to build the agriculture drone by itself, so to evaluate performance. And in the future, if we can apply sensors to monitor more things, we could provide a better management of the agriculture farms. So after judging the literature review, here is my problem statement for this final year project. So current agriculture drones are very expensive for average farmers. And then next, controlling of an agriculture drone are only limited to only a highly skilled and knowledgeable person. And then the cost for training of an agriculture drone is expensive, since the drone itself is very expensive. So to solve these problems, here's my objective of this project. So I want to assemble and integrate an agriculture drones with a spraying compartment, and overall it costs less than Rm 10,000 ringgit. Second, we want to program a user-friendly application on the smartphone and the drone itself in order to make the drone fly in autopilot mode, so it is very easy to control. And then third, we want to evaluate the performance of the drone during the crop spraying application to make sure it is very effective. Next, for the hypothesis, my hypothesis is that this drone will have the specs in order to meet the objective. So the first spec is that we want the drone to be able to cover an area of 1 acre. So 1 acre is more than a half of football field, and can be sprayed using a spray pump jet nozzle. And then second, we want the drone to carry a minimum load of 5 kilos, which is 2 kilos from the battery and 3 kilos from the water tank. And then we want it to be controlled using an app from a smartphone, and hopefully it can be set to an autopilot mode, so it can move by itself. And hopefully if the drone is finished, the drone can be used as a training for university student So because the cost of supplying this drone is cheaper. So next, here's my scope of work throughout this project. So first I would have to study the base drone model, because this drone is constructed from the drone model, the Terra X6. So I need to study it, study the mission planner software and the flight controller. Next, I need to build a spraying system compartment prototype, so the compartment that separates the drone. And then I need to do the ground testing to check the payload of the drone. So payload is how much the maximum the load can carry. And I need to calibrate the motors in order for it to fly smoothly. And then I need to do flight testing at wet and dry. So wet is with the spraying compartment, while dry is without the spraying compartment. So here's my methodology throughout my project. So there are 4 phases of study, 4 phases of the methodology. First is the initial study. So what I need to do is the literature survey, and then to do the study more about drones, compare about previous model of drones. And then the second fabrication phase, I need to try to design and build a prototype of the spraying compartment and make the coding in order for the spraying compartment to work. And then the third phase is the physical development. I need to make the actual spraying compartment and assemble with the Terra X6 itself. And then finally is the fourth phase, is the experimental and analysis, where I evaluate the performance of the drone. So where I evaluate with the ground testing and the flight testing, and then I evaluate the performance. So next, here's my second methodology on how I will be making the drone. So first is assemble the Terra X6 model according to the instruction, because it is a base model. And then I would design the spraying system compartment and gather all the parts. And next, assemble all the gathered parts and integrate with Terra X6 in order for it to work together. Then do a ground and flight testing, and finally analyze and evaluate performance. So here's my third methodology on what are the things I would analyze and evaluate. So there are 3 things that I will analyze. First is to analyze the drone power consumption. Second, the drone speed and coverage. And third is the drone attitude. So the drone attitude is what are the yaws, how the drone will roll, and how the drone will maybe pitch, move side to side and all that. So over the course of this project, there were preliminary outcome that I have been made, and which is first is the parametric study of agriculture drone. So I have surveyed and get the specification of 20 agriculture drones. So here's what I could get from the study of 20 agriculture drones. First is the parametric study between the relationship of full takeoff weight, and which is how much the drone can carry, versus the diagonal wheelbase, which is from end to end, so the size of the drone. So we could see that it is in an inclined graph, so which means that the bigger the diagonal wheelbase, the stronger the drone can carry, so the bigger the full takeoff weight. And this is crucial to my study to determine on how much if I were to design my drone, it could carry. And also I've included the drone weight and the battery to see the full takeoff weight, which we could see that battery also influence the full takeoff weight. This is probably because of the voltage needed for the drone to be stronger. So second relationship of the drone model is that we can see that the bigger the battery capacity, the bigger the full takeoff weight of a drone. So third relationship is the relationship between full takeoff weight and the price of the drone. We can see that the more expensive the drone, the bigger the full takeoff weight of a drone. But unfortunately, there were not many information regarding the price of a drone. There were only 7 of them. But we can still see that the more expensive the drone, the better the performance. Besides that, I have also managed to make my own spraying compartment prototype. So here's the video. and we can see that from the video there may need to be more improvement to be made to make the drone to be more durable, and also may need more powerful pumps for better spraying performance. But besides that, I have also learned a lot on how to make the spraying compartment, and just needs more improvement. So here's the schematic diagram of the drone of the spraying compartment that I made. So it made from Arduino, because if I were to use a flight controller it would be expensive. And this comes from the power bank, and the power source is the power bank, and uses 4 motors, and I use a Bluetooth module to control the spraying compartment wirelessly. So here's my project planning throughout the semester and also next semester. So first we start with the FYP title selection and registration on the first week, and then study the 20 agriculture drones and start on reading the literature review on the month of November. Start writing the proposal after that on the month of December. Then I made development of spraying compartment system. So this is the only first prototype, so it is still in progress. After, probably will continue the next semester, and then start with the FYP1 presentation, which is currently what we are doing now. And then hopefully in the next semester I could go and physically assemble the agriculture drone, and with that I could do experimental analysis and finally do the thesis writing. So next, here's the crucial references that I made throughout this presentation. So these are the references that I included only for the presentation. There are more references on the proposal, and now that I finished the references, I would like to conclude my presentation. So thank you for listening to my presentation, and hopefully you like it. And also, if you have any question, please do ask. So thank you. With that, Assalamualaikum. Goodbye.